Some people may ask, why do I show my employees Christian material? The first thing is I care deeply about them, and I care what happens to them after death. And God created this world. This world and this universe does not come from nothing, and we will have to stand before Him. But secondly, also, we base how we run this company around Christian principles, how we treat people, how we treat our employees, how we treat our clients, honesty, integrity, love and care. So it's important that they know this information and from where we come.
I'm speaking today on the topic of the Day of Reckoning. And as I think of this large crowd, I want to remind all of you that there are two judgments in the Bible. The Bible says it is appointed unto man once to die, and after death, the judgment. Wow. There are two great judgments. One is the great white throne judgment, and that's in Revelation chapter 20. And I want to say that this great audience that was meeting before God had something in common, and that is they did not have the protection of Jesus Christ from the wrath of God. And I have to say that it is a judgment that is absolutely terrifying. I'll see if I can quote some of it. And I saw a great white throne, and him who sat on it, before whose face the earth and the heavens fled away, and there was no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things that were written in the book. And then I'm going to skip to the very last verse of the chapter. Whosever name was not written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And the Bible says that Jesus preserves us from the wrath to come. So if you've never savingly trusted Jesus Christ, I hope right now that today will be the day that you do that, because the judgment that is coming is terrifying. All who are there at the great white throne judgment are unbelievers. But today I want to speak to you as believers, because there is another judgment called the judgment seat of Jesus Christ. That the real reason is tears of regret for the way in which we lived despite the wonderful opportunities that God has given to us. And so that's what we're going to speak about today. We're going to speak about the judgment seat of Christ. It is indeed the day of reckoning. Very sobering, actually. And this is what the Apostle Paul says. That's when he says, according to the grace of God given to me, like a skilled master builder, I laid a foundation and someone else was building upon it. Let each one take care of how he builds upon it. For no one can lay a foundation other than the one which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now, if anyone builds on the foundation with gold, silver, or precious metals, precious stones, or it could be wood, hay, and straw, each one's work will become manifest, for the day will disclose it, because it is to be revealed by fire. And the fire will test what sort of work one has done. If the work that anyone has built on the foundation survives, he will receive a reward. If anyone's work is burned up, he will suffer loss, though he himself will be saved by fire. The imagery is this, that as Christians, our works are going to be tried before God, and we're going to see whether or not we have gold, silver, and precious stones, or whether or not we've been building and living for wood, hay, and stubble. And then the imagery is, when the burning takes place, if you're a believer, you will be saved. The imagery is, you're going to come out of a house that's burning and it's going to collapse behind you. You will be saved, but so is by fire, and your works are going to be burned up. Now, there are many people who say, wow, that seems inconsistent with the gospel, because doesn't the gospel mean that we stand in the righteousness of Jesus Christ? We're welcomed into heaven as if we are Jesus? Yes, of course, that's the good news of the gospel. But that does not mean that God does not judge even those whom he has redeemed. I remember a guy who said, if I get to heaven as long as I have a little hut, all be okay. I said to this man, you say that you're going to be satisfied as long as you get to heaven and sit in the back row. Let me use your imagery. Do you know what that really means? Is that you are displeasing Christ. If you were pleasing Jesus, you wouldn't, to use the imagery, be in the back row.